we have Tony, who very graciously, without ever uttering a word, agreed to get put back into the queue when I accidentally put Tony
Thanks,
online.
Tony.
Thanks, Tony. Thanks for waiting. How are you?
Doing well, Matthew. Doing well, brother. I was going to ask Shannon what she thinks about death. What happens when we die?
Oh, I think that we're just gone. As Matt and others have said, the same thing that happened before I was born. I just don't exist. That's it.
Yeah, I'm a struggling theist. Been fighting it for 12 years. Struggling, like everybody does. But the main thing, Shannon, I think's doing it. I feel like it's a mutiny. Like when you're really down for something. And I lock in. When I'm down for somebody or whatever, I lock in like a pit bull. But I feel like it's because I've studied it and done, the whole 9 yards, that, like I said, over the past 12 years studying everything. But I feel like I'm doing a mutiny. You know what I mean? I can let go and be going on, but I feel like I'm like mutiny. Can you tell me the psychological insanity of that?
So you feel like it's some sort of betrayal, deconverting? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. I feel like I'm betraying Jesus, like a...
Do you think that Jesus is God? One sec, Tony, do you think that Jesus is God?
Yes.
You do? Okay, well, then you're still a Christian. Then you're still a Christian, Tony. So you're not like, if you think that Jesus is God, you're still a Christian. You're not fully deconverted right now. It sounds to me like you're on that path, but you haven't fully shook off the vestiges of it. And if you think Jesus is God,
no doubt,
you're a Christian.
Yeah, I locked in. Yeah, I've locked in. I learned the hard way, coming up. I'd fall in love. My first falling in love, I'd lock in, right? And it, may crush my heart. But I'm always just a lock-in dude. And I guess what my DNA is. But I was just wondering, what can you tell me that I can do to beat that?
Do to what? Like being a Christian? It's entirely going to depend on you.
Technique or what do you know that I can research or do to realize why I think like that? I mean, there's got to be a weakness in me. Don't you think? Where it's always been a strength in my life. I mean, I've took bullets, been beat half to death and everything down for my loved ones. Okay. It felt good doing it. But what can I do to beat that?
Okay, so I'm having a difficulty comprehending what you're attempting to articulate to me. But if you're asking what you can do in order to beat doubt, my answer would be research, like try to falsify your belief, like to go, and I would suggest this for everybody, go and look for the strongest case against what you currently believe and familiarize yourself with it in order to see if your belief holds up to scrutiny. That is what I would suggest if you're looking for answers as to how to kind of walk away and feel confident. Knowledge is my answer to that. Accumulate knowledge.
I have some questions, if you're okay with it, Tony.
Oh, yes, sir. Matthew, what are you talking about, Matthew? I love you, brother. You're freaking awesome.
Well, thank you. Do you care?
I've always wanted you to whoop my ass, so tear me up, brother.
Well, okay. I'll do it in the nicest way I can stand. But so there's a bunch of things that you believe. Lots of things, not just the Jesus stuff. You believe that water's wet, and you have beliefs about clouds in the sky, and you believe different things about medicine, and you believe different things about how computers work. So there's lots of things that you're convinced of. Do you care whether or not your beliefs are true?
Oh, that's the number one thing. True blue to me is everything but truth.
So the thing is,
Always,
there's no such thing as true blue to me. Something is either true or not, irrespective of what you believe. So I have some amount of money in my wallet, and that money is not impacted in any way by what you believe is in my wallet, right?
Well, you're right, Matthew. The blue part's what's fucking me up. You're right.
So
I gotta get rid of the blue.
I don't think I don't know what you mean by blue, but so the problem was that you said that something was true for you.
The blue bullshit.
So how do you figure? How do you go about for anything that you believe? For anything that you believe, how do you go about finding out whether or not it's true if you care?
Well, I've researched everything on atheists that I could find. I mean,
no.
Everything for the past.
Tony, I'm not asking you about atheism at all. I'm saying if you have a belief, I'm saying if you believe something and you care whether or not it's true, what do you do to find out whether it's true?
Boy, that's a great question. Okay, what I've done is research and look at my experience in life, what I've lived, and what's actually happened in my life, and that's pretty much it.
So that to me that is an answer from somebody who actually doesn't care whether or not their beliefs are true. What you seem to only be caring about is what your understanding of your own experiences are, because you could be wrong about experiences that you've had and what they mean, right?
Right.
And so if you actually cared if it's true, instead of just looking at your experiences and reaching a conclusion, you would actually go seeking evidence for something. So it's like if you had a pair of socks that you wore every time you went bowling, and when you wore those socks, you were under the impression that you did better, you might come to the conclusion that those are lucky socks. And so then we would ask, how do you test whether or not those, then we would ask, how do you actually tell whether or not those socks are lucky? Well, you would wear them under a bunch of different circumstances, and you would gather up data, and you would see how consistently your performance correlates with wearing those socks. But we also know that the fact that something correlates with something doesn't mean that it's caused by that. But what if you found out that there was no actual correlation? It doesn't matter whether or not what the answer to the causation thing is, because we've demonstrated there's no phenomenon there. It turns out it's just like flipping a coin. So now we know you don't have lucky socks. So let's translate that to Jesus. Have you ever talked to Jesus?
I think I've been talking to myself.
Well,
I think I've been talking to myself, and I can roll that way, Matthew. Listen, I can roll that way. But then if I get in a fearful situation where I got to fight or whatever, I go, help me, Jesus. Help me, Jesus. Help me beat these dudes. And that's where I'm at in that. I'm always going like, help me, and nobody else physically to help me, but me fighting. But you know, like some kind of spiritual
Tony, I'm not here to encourage you to fight people. I wish you would stop fighting people. But if you're not going to take this seriously and you're just going to talk about asking Jesus for help beating people up, I'm moving. No, you're not taking it seriously, sir. And I'm moving on. When we're talking about whether or not you care about whether or not things are true, and we go through that process, there's no way in hell you get to, whenever I think I'm just talking to myself, whenever I ask Jesus for help beating these dudes up, fuck right on off with that. Because you've convinced me that you are not serious. And if you are, I'm just sad.